And it makes me think what might have been if Son had been available for the whole season.
MLS 2025 시즌 정규리그의 대미를 장식할 결정의 날이 다가왔습니다. 손흥민 선수의 LAFC는 2위 경쟁을 위해서, 콜로라도는 승점 1점이라도 챙기지 못하면 시즌이 끝날지도 모르는 플레이오프 티켓 사수를 걸고 마지막 대결을 펼칩니다. 이번 주말은 단순한 리그 일정이 아닌 서부 컨퍼런스 순위와 플레이오프 진출팀을 놓고 치르는 치열한 경기가 될 예정인데요.
It really gives us a good chance on the weekend if we win. So we love that we've put ourselves in a spot on the last match day in a tight conference that we can win our home game. And yes, of course we have to get past a really good LAFC team with Bouanga and Son coming back into the team. I'm sure. Obviously one of the best teams in the league.
콜로라도는 홈 이점을 최대한 활용하려는 전략을 세우고 있지만 손흥민과 부앙가가 복귀한 LAFC의 공격력을 경계할 수밖에 없는데요. 콜로라도 관계자들 역시 이번 경기가 팀의 운명을 가를 결전이라며 절박한 입장을 강조했습니다.
Es ahora o nunca para los Rapids en esta fecha que viene. Es Decision Day, el último día de la temporada regular donde a los Rapids les toca LAFC, nada más y menos que a Denis Bouanga, Heung-min Son y compañía. Y obviamente esos dos jugadores que yo menciono, Mauricio, son los dos protagonistas, los mejores jugadores que tiene LAFC.
Estamos felices de llegar a la última fecha vivos, porque es a matar o morir. Ganamos, pensamos en otros resultados y podemos avanzar.
Este sábado contra LAFC, porque aunque con una victoria, nada está garantizado para llegar a los playoffs. Así simplemente sacar el resultado, pero a la vez, ¿qué cosas tienes que considerar cuando viene un LAFC aquí? Ellos igual, que vienen motivados a conseguir un resultado en términos de dónde van a quedar en la tabla de la Conferencia del Oeste.
Si no hacemos el trabajo acá, no hay mañana. Yo creo que el plato está servido para una gran jornada. Tenemos que llenar este estadio, necesitamos meter presión.
Que obviamente para LAFC, pero más que nada para los Colorado Rapids que se están jugando su futuro en los playoffs para 2025 en la MLS.
콜로라도는 손흥민 선수의 등장과 함께 상승세를 타고 있는 LAFC를 상대하기 위해 홈팬들의 힘이라도 빌려야 하는 상황인데요. 현지 매체에서도 라피즈, LAFC와의 결정전 앞두고라는 기사에 이 경기를 놓친다면 시즌이 끝날 수도 있다는 것을 콜로라도 감독과 선수 모두 알고 있다. 홈팬들의 응원은 단순한 열기가 아닌 팀을 지탱하는 마지막 보루다. 콜로라도의 시즌이 걸려있다라는 표현으로 절박함을 드러냈습니다. 이어 기사에서는 반면 LAFC는 이미 상위권을 확보 중이지만 순위를 더 끌어올리기 위해서는 이번 경기가 중요하다. 손흥민의 슈팅 하나, 결정 하나가 균형을 깨뜨리는 결과를 가져올 것이다 라며 이번 경기의 핵심 키로 손흥민 선수를 꼽았습니다. 뿐만 아니라 MLS 공식 사이트도 이번 경기의 주요 변수를 손흥민 선수로 지목했습니다. 기대 득점 분석 2025년 결정의 날을 앞둔 주요 이정표들이라는 기사에는 손흥민이 지난 8월 MLS에 합류한 이후 LAFC의 기대에 완벽하게 부응하고 있다. 그는 합류 후 9경기에서 8골 3도움을 기록하며 팀이 6승 1무 2패의 성적을 거두는데 핵심적인 역할을 했다. 다가오는 디시전 데이 콜로라도전에서 손흥민이 눈에 띄는 활약을 펼친다면 MLS 역사에 남을 가장 역동적인 데뷔 시즌 주인공으로 이름을 올릴 수 있다. 특히 손흥민이 이번 경기에서 멀티골을 기록할 경우 그는 리그 역사상 단 2명의 선수만이 달성했던 진기록에 합류하게 된다. 2000년 마마두 디알로와 2002년 카를로스 루이스가 세운 데뷔 10경기 10골 이상 기록에 손흥민이 새로운 이름으로 나란히 오르게 되는 것이다 라는 말과 함께 디시전데이 무대에서 손흥민은 득점이든 어시스트든 팀의 흐름을 바꿀 힘을 가지고 있다라며 MLS의 새로운 기록에 대한 기대감을 드러냈습니다. 그러면서 대부분의 축구 전문 채널에서는 손흥민 선수가 더 많은 경기를 뛰지 못한 데에 아쉬움을 표하기도 했습니다.
We're looking at Colorado and Dallas missing out.
Wow.
By the way, Colorado Rapids, they're playing LAFC.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say who their matchup was.
So when you're talking about one of the hottest teams in Major League Soccer, the most informed teams, with Denis Bouanga and Son Heung-min, this is the team. Look at how phenomenal. Also, Bouanga's chasing the Golden Boot. So he, in his mind, he's also chasing the MVP, even though I think we all think Lionel Messi, it's going to be unanimous. you have to have that type of conviction and belief. These two are a special pairing, and if they can pick up where they left off heading into the international break, they are going to be one of the front runners for MLS Cup.
Yeah, I'm really excited about watching these two back for LAFC, not just in this decision day, but for the rest of the playoffs. I think they're my favorite to come out of the West, and I know looking at you,
San Diego, one team we're not saying here.
But
Well, LAFC and Vancouver are the two, for me, the two front runners.
But in terms of a dynamic duo, they're the best dynamic duo in Major League Soccer. And it makes me think what might have been if Son had been available for the whole season. And I'm just going to say this. In terms of form, I went back and looked through it. Denis Bouanga has been the hottest forward, hottest player in Major League Soccer since the end of August. Lionel Messi is in that conversation, and Son Heung-min. So you have two of the three hottest players in the last month and a half, 2 months, on the same team going into a playoffs.
현지 매체에 LAFC 콜로라도 원정에서 정규 시즌 마무리, MLS 결정의 날 임박하다. 결정의 날 앞두고 순위로 매겨본 MLS 컵 우승 후보 5팀 등의 기사에는 디시전 데이의 주요 팀들 가운데 손흥민, 팀의 즉각적인 성공을 가져오다라며 손흥민 선수의 존재가 팀 성공의 핵심 키로 다뤄지고 있었습니다. 마지막 결전을 앞둔 팀 동료의 인터뷰에서도 손흥민 선수에 대한 믿음은 굳건했습니다.
La llegada de Sony, yo sé que todo el mundo les pregunta a todos ustedes,
normal.
pero normal, caramba, y fue una inyección de entusiasmo, de energía, de humildad, de ganas, de cariño, caramba, de todo Sony.
Sí, sí, la verdad que espectacular desde que ha llegado, no solo dentro del campo. Yo sé que todo el mundo lo destaca, pero es que es verdad. Fuera del campo es una maravilla tenerlo. O sea, es el primero que en los entrenamientos exige a todo el mundo, concentración, los detalles. Vamos a entrenar bien, porque al final los entrenamientos, si tú te acostumbras a entrenar bien, a vigilar los detalles, a finalizar jugadas, a hacer todo como toca en el partido, es mucho más fácil. Así que él nos ha traído un poquito esa experiencia que él tiene y esa ambición, y la verdad que estamos felices y solo hay que ver cómo corre. No solo que la gente está claro, estamos viendo todos los goles, con derecha, con izquierda, cómo combina, cómo pasa, pero cómo corre, cómo trabaja, cómo va, cómo pide el balón al espacio y a veces no se lo dan. Sigue. Entonces, eso es lo realmente valioso de él y muy, muy agradecidos de tenerlo.
손흥민 선수는 LAFC 공격의 중심으로 자리 잡으며 경기의 흐름을 좌우할 주요 요소로 평가되고 있는데요. 정규리그를 마치고 플레이오프에 손흥민 선수가 어떤 활약을 펼칠지 MLS 역시 벌써부터 기대를 모으고 있습니다. 오늘 준비한 영상은 여기까지입니다. 영상이 재미있었다면 구독과 좋아요로 채널에 힘이 되어주세요. 더욱 유익한 이슈로 다시 찾아오겠습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.
This is a scary proposition for the Colorado Rapids, the side that need a win.
Imagine being on the other side and just watching them two.
Son Heung-min was able to score a beautiful goal, by the way, in the 42nd minute with his left foot. Absolutely clinical. If you saw Zach Steffen, the goalkeeper from the Rapids, he was like kind of like goalkeeper spun, where he's like looking to see where the ball went because he just couldn't believe that he was able to score from that angle.
손흥민 선수가 MLS 정규리그 최종전에서 시즌 9호 골이자 LAFC 정규리그 500호 골의 주인공이 되었습니다.
Will allow you then to open up.
And now Bouanga pushing forward. Now Son has a chance. He gets past one defender and he roofs it. Oh, what a goal! The counterattack for LAFC is lethal. And it was Bouanga setting up Son Heung-min, and LAFC have struck first tonight.
In his 9th MLS match, that's his 9th goal. That is sensational from Son.
That's just ruthless. This is ruthless.
This is a nightmare for Maxo.
And this is the problem. Then he can now drop deep, and now he plays in Son. But then look at this. When you get in these areas, 1v1, quick feet, and then on the weaker foot, you bang it in the top, just roof of the net.
It's not
Ruthless
fair.
finishing.
It's absolutely not fair, and it's that same link up again that we've seen. Denis Bouanga picking the ball up, driving through midfield. Son, he doesn't come to feet, Brad.
No.
He wants to spin. He wants to get isolated 1v1. And Maxo, he just dives in here. He's got to keep moving his feet. He's got to try to keep ushering him out wide. Because once you let him go by you in this moment, it's over.
And guys, this is what makes them dangerous though. We've been watching this game. There's been nothing happening. All of a sudden, that play happens, you're 1-0 down. Wow.
Now LAFC can sit even deeper on the road in their defensive block.
And now I'm top of the goal scoring chart.
손흥민 선수의 골이 들어가는 순간 중계를 하던 해설자들도 경기를 지켜본 LAFC 팬들도 수준 높은 골 장면에 감탄을 할 수밖에 없었습니다.
Son Heung-min was able to score a beautiful goal, by the way, in the 42nd minute with his left foot. Absolutely clinical. If you saw Zach Steffen, the goalkeeper from the Rapids, he was like kind of like goalkeeper spun, where he's like looking to see where the ball went because he just couldn't believe that he was able to score from that angle.
MLS의 시즌 마지막 경기였던 만큼 LAFC의 상대인 콜로라도는 9위까지 주어지는 플레이오프 와일드카드가 반드시 필요한 경기였고 그럴수록 콜로라도 감독 역시 손흥민 선수를 경계할 수밖에 없었는데요.
When you look at a team like LAFC, the international break, but they get Son back, they get Bouanga back. How do you prepare for two guys that are just so unpredictable?
Listen, they're unpredictable, but they're good. And since Son has arrived, they've not lost with him in the team. So yeah, we understand what they're about. LAFC in general, they've always been good in transition. And with Son and Bouanga, 1 + 1 seems to equal 3. They're just so dangerous. So
반드시 승리해야 했던 콜로라도는 무승부로 10위에 그치며 플레이오프 와일드카드 진출에 실패하게 됐습니다. 사실 경기 전 전문가들은 콜로라도를 상대로 손쉬운 승리를 예상했었습니다.
Two other guys that are in this window here late on in the second half of MLS 360, they are reunited after playing for South Korea and for Gabon on the international scene. It's Son Heung-min and Denny Bouanga. Look at the numbers since Son has arrived on the scene on August 9th. 19 goals between the pair. Bouanga's been having fun alongside his new teammate as they get set to go tonight from Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado. This is a scary proposition for the Colorado Rapids, the side that need a win.
yeah.
Imagine being on the other side and just watching them two warm up. You could almost
don't
have
exactly defend transitions well.
They don't. You could almost have a perfect game defensively, and you could still lose 3-0, 3 or 4-0.
What do they do so well, Dax?
They're combining well. They find space together well. They link up well. Kev, there's not much they don't do well. You give them time and space on top of the box. They have great shots with their right foot, with their left foot, but it's in transition where they do their best work. They are absolutely devastating in transition. If you make poor decisions amongst your back line and defenders, they will make you pay, Brad.
You know what makes them dangerous as well, Dax? There's two things. It's one, that they stay close, and two, that they can interchange positions. So
Correct.
if Son starts in the number 9, and then all of a sudden goes out, you're going to deal with Denny Bouanga filling in that space and running in hard. Very difficult to keep track of both of them.
There's space interpreters right now. Denny Bouanga, when he was at his devastating best the last couple of seasons, predominantly on the left-hand side of the field. But the interchange with Son, the ability to have a high soccer IQ to play with each other and combine, it's at a different level right now. They are the most dangerous duo in Major League Soccer, bar none right now.
And they could provide the dagger to Colorado's season. Colorado need a win. They need to get over the line, and this man hopes to keep them out. LAFC, their winning streak came to an end at 6 games. They lost out, but no Son and Bouanga in that game against Austin, a victory that secured Austin in 6th place. For LAFC, they want to get back to winning ways, and they welcome back their duo up front in Son Heung-min and Denny Bouanga. They're facing a Colorado side that are absolutely desperate, though. Colorado, 10th place right now, on the outside looking in, and they need a win tonight.
Yeah, this is an LAFC at their best. You see them in transition right here. Denny Bouanga picking up space, running at the back line. I thought he could have released that pass just a little bit sooner for Palencia, but this is an uphill battle for a reeling Colorado Rapids team, a desperate Colorado Rapids team against an LAFC team that is one of the most confident right now in Major League Soccer. They have the most dangerous, dynamic duo up top in Bouanga and Son. It's a tall task for Colorado.
Before Son gets there, I'd say this is a good spot for them to be in. There's no space for LAFC to run in behind. But now with Son, he can go into pockets, turn and find a pass. So either way, they're going to have to do a little bit more than just sit in.
손흥민 선수의 한 번의 역습으로 1대0으로 앞서 나가다 후반 17분 골키퍼 요리스가 정말 말도 안 되는 실수로 실점하며 결국 LAFC는 2대2 아쉬운 무승부로 경기를 마무리 지었습니다. 이번 경기에서는 손흥민 선수 경기력에 감탄했던 LAFC 팬들이 부안가의 부진한 경기력에 싸늘한 반응을 보이기도 했는데요.
Which we'll bring up the stats here in a second. I thought Denny Bouanga didn't play very well today. And I want to be a little fair because him and Sonny did just go on international duty, so they played 2 games. I think Son Heung-min was very good. I think as much as he could be. Denny looked a little rusty to me, man, a little tired, kind of like making some sloppy plays, not really converting on his chances, either shooting the ball into the goalkeeper's hands, over the bar, far left. Like, he just really wasn't as good as what we've seen in the past, 6 or 7 games with LAFC and since him and Sony have been balling out. So that was disappointing because it shows that even if Messi and him had been close in the Golden Boot race, like really close, he would have still lost because he couldn't score tonight.
I mean, yeah, but again, also it was already out of reach, right? Messi came home to literally play to take it over, where Denny stayed and tried to help his country.
Is he going to pick out a pass for Denny Bwanga? Yes, he is. Bwanga has made a nice run into the channel, and danger is developing. Bwanga trying to get on goal. Steffen came out and made himself big enough to make a save with his upper body and deny the opener for Denny Bwanga and LAFC as Bwanga just shredded the defense.
No, look at.
Sash, what do you want to see here from Denny Bwanga?
The extra pass is just right there in the end. He makes a beautiful cut here and a beautiful touch there. And
I'm
right
shocked
there,
he doesn't go down.
You're right.
Go down, but he's got past that, man.
I think it's a little slide to Son for a tap in. It's a high level play. You have to do it fast.
That was old Denny.
That was.
Let me put the team on my back, Denny.
경기가 끝나고 MLS 공식 계정에 아우디 2025 MLS컵 플레이오프 티어 각 팀의 순위는 이라는 기사에는 LAFC는 그동안 강팀을 상대로 다소 약했다. 하지만 손흥민의 합류로 팀의 색깔이 완전히 달라졌다. 손흥민과 부안가 두 사람은 이제 막기 어려운 조합이라고 불린다. 두 사람의 진짜 시험대는 플레이오프가 될 것이다 라며 시즌 마지막 경기는 아쉽게 비겼지만 다가오는 플레이오프에서 흥부 콤비가 다시 폭발할지 MLS에서도 기대를 모으고 있습니다. 오늘 준비한 영상은 여기까지입니다. 영상이 재미있었다면 구독과 좋아요로 채널에 힘이 되어주세요. 더욱 유익한 이슈로 다시 찾아오겠습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.
Obviously, the asterisk to all that is now they have Son, so like it's a completely different team when he's on the field and experience.
But Austin FC hasn't seen us with Sonny, which is a benefit for us against them.
MLS컵 플레이오프 1라운드 일정이 발표됐습니다. LAFC는 1라운드 상대로 손흥민 선수와 부안가가 대표팀에 차출되며 빠진 사이 1대0으로 패하며 연승을 끊었던 바로 그 팀 6위 오스틴 FC를 만나게 되는데요. 이 경기로 LAFC는 오스틴 FC와의 상대전적 2패라는 초라한 성적과 함께 서부 컨퍼런스에서 3위를 굳히게 됐습니다. 당연히 LAFC는 플레이오프에 대한 불안감을, 오스틴 FC는 자신감을 가질 수밖에 없는 상황인데요. 하지만 오스틴 팬들은 손흥민 선수가 빠진 경기라며 불안감을 내비쳤습니다.
They had a 6-game win streak that was extending from August and an 11-game unbeaten road streak where they hadn't lost since April 5th.
That's crazy, right?
And so they've been on an absolute tear. And so for Austin to come up big at home, I think this felt really, really good in a way that maybe the scoreline wouldn't suggest, but I think for us to kind of be that immovable object that stops that immovable or that unstoppable force felt really good. But I'm kind of nervous, man.
He's like, yeah, see, we got the win we needed against a playoff foe.
So it's giving win the battle, lose the war kind of vibes. But do you agree with this, or do you feel like, we're just gonna do it all over again and beat them? In playoffs?
I think it'd be hypocritical for me to say no. Obviously, the asterisk to all that is now they have Son, so like it's a completely different team when he's on the field and experience.
It's gonna be crazy, man.
반대로 상대 전적에서 밀리고도 손흥민 선수가 합류한 이후 LAFC 팬들은 오히려 승리에 대한 자신감을 보였는데요.
LAFC are officially going to play Austin FC. And to any of you guys who are new to MLS playoffs, this is how the league winner is decided. The MLS Cup playoffs. The first round in the Western Conference, LAFC are going to play Austin FC in a best-of-3 series. But they're going to play Austin FC in the first round, and they have not beaten Austin FC this year. They've lost both times to them. Are you upset about this matchup? Are you cool with this matchup?
Well, now that you've actually pointed out that we lost both games, I guess I need to be a little bit more concerned. You know what I mean? And I just got done saying the game that did bother me was us losing that game because I thought we could have won that game. I really did. But Austin FC hasn't seen us with Sonny, which is a benefit for us against them.
현지 매체에서도 플레이오프에서 LAFC를 상대하게 될 팀을 예견이라도 한 듯 6위의 기쁨, LAFC전 승리 결과로 LAFC와 다시 맞붙게 될 수도라는 기사에서는 손흥민 없이 맞붙었던 경기에서 오스틴 FC는 LAFC를 상대로 1대0 승리를 거뒀다. 손흥민과 부안가가 없었던 LAFC를 이긴 결과는 아이러니하게도 플레이오프 1라운드에서 그 듀오를 다시 만날 가능성을 키웠다라며 최악의 시나리오라는 평가를 했습니다. 오스틴 FC 감독의 인터뷰에서도 기자들은 LAFC와의 맞대결을 불안하게 바라보고 있었는데요.
Okay. And I know this is a little speculative, but given that you beat LAFC tonight, there's maybe now a better chance that they end up in third and they end up being your first round opponent, kind of ironically, after beating them. And just kind of wondering how you would game for them in a 3-game series. I mean, obviously, you know what Bouanga has done against this team, and then Son, you haven't faced him yet, but obviously he's immensely talented.
Well, I think at the end of the day, we'll have to accept what opponent we have. If he's LFC, if it's Minnesota, if it's San Diego, or maybe not, I don't think Vancouver. But we have to accept what team we have to face. And we'll prepare. And doesn't matter what they have. I think we play against Bouanga and at the beginning of the league, and I think we did a good job stopping him. And
상대 팬들과 언론이 손흥민 선수를 경계하는 이유는 팀 성적뿐만 아니라 동료들의 잠재력까지 최대치로 끌어올리고 있다는 것 때문인데요. 이번 최종전 직후 있었던 팀 동료의 인터뷰를 통해 그 이유를 더욱 자세히 확인할 수 있었습니다.
In the game, you can see a lot of Sonny. He's talking to other players.
Yes.
What are you usually telling you guys?
I can't speak for anyone else, but personally, he gives so many little nice tips, and it's nice hearing it from him because obviously he knows the top level of the game. He's played at the highest level, so hearing anything really. But when he speaks, you definitely listen. But yeah, he's brilliant, brilliant player, of course, but also a brilliant leader where he wants everyone to be the same mindset as him, and he wants everyone on top of their game. So he's really good for us. He keeps us all pushing, and just really good leader in the team.
손흥민 선수를 향한 감독의 무한 신뢰도 함께 엿볼 수 있었습니다.
So, Colorado number 6, Holding, he was in charge of Sonny tonight. So, what do you think about was it efficient tonight, or what do you think?
No, Sonny had one chance and he took his chance very well. A couple other moments. I think having Denis and Sonny with us for the entire week to prepare for a match is different than having them come in a day before the game. Both of them were traveling halfway across the world. It is what it is. We're very happy that they can play for their nations, and it's very important. But it puts teams at the end of the season, in decision day or in the playoffs, we have another national window, in a very difficult position. We saw it last year. We've seen it again this year. So it's not ideal, but we accept the challenge. And both of them and Matt and Nathan, all have an opportunity now to get some rest, recover. And we can work on being better connected and playing better football together. I think we're a little disconnected tonight, the two up top included.
So it sounds like Sonny, his condition is the same as normal, even if after two of the national match.
Yeah, he only played a half the second game, so I'm not sure there was a huge issue. There's always a travel issue and time change, but Sonny is a very experienced player, and I'm not sure that affects him. I think time away from the group and time away from your teammates affects you more than maybe the travel and the extra minutes.
And then there's some news. Maybe you don't know that, but then I can hear there's a news like a Messi.
Beckham.
Messi Beckham rule.
Beckham, yeah.
So people are saying maybe there's a possibility to go back to like what was that? The European League again. So what do you think about that?
People say a lot of things. People say things about the weather, about politics, about my hairstyle. Nothing really bothers me. I don't really listen to it. Thankfully, I'm not too engaged in social media and all of that. To answer your question, I don't know. I can tell you that Sonny is incredibly committed to LAFC, and he wants to win every game he plays with us, and that will be the case for the remainder of this season.
How do you reflect back on what this year was like?
With the addition of Sonny and a little bit of formational change as well. So I'm happy.
오는 10월 30일 열리는 플레이오프 1라운드를 앞두고 손흥민 선수가 어떤 활약을 보여줄지에 벌써부터 많은 관심이 쏠리고 있습니다. 오늘 준비한 영상은 여기까지입니다. 영상이 재미있었다면 구독과 좋아요로 채널에 힘이 되어주세요. 더욱 유익한 이슈로 다시 찾아오겠습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.
And if it's a scenario where you're placing all your chips on one player, because that's what you're going off of, how Sung has changed LAFC.
They have two of the top 6 players in the league, maybe arguably the best player in the league in Son Heung-min at this point, arguably the best player in the league.
MLS 정규 시즌이 끝나고 진짜 전쟁이 시작됐습니다. 손흥민 선수는 이적한 이후 존재감이 더욱 살아났고 LAFC는 손흥민 선수의 영향력으로 경기력과 분위기까지 모든 게 완전히 달라지면서 현지에서는 LAFC 이번엔 우승 간다라는 예측이 계속해서 나오고 있습니다. ESPN 역시 플레이오프 시즌에 돌입하면서 우승팀에 대해 전망을 했는데요.
First rounder. Yes, it is a tasty dish to kick off our postseason for MLS. Sebi, who is the favorite to win MLS Cup? Inter Miami, San Diego, Vancouver Whitecaps, Philly Union, or LAFC?
Yeah, I mean, people can see the odds there on the screen. They probably think I'm chasing the value here, but I'm not. I think it's LAFC. Third right now in the West. And this basically, for me, is down to 2 dudes. Denny Bawanga and Heung-min Son. They have been incredible together. So good. I don't know, it's only been like 10 games for Son, but 43 goal involvements combined between those two. They're also coming in pretty hot. Of their last 8 games, they've only lost once, and they were putting up some big, crooked numbers in some of those games. 4 goals, 3 goals, just racking up goals left, right, and center. I also think maybe a little bit of an emotional play here. Steve Cherundolo getting ready to ride off into the sunset, maybe playing for their manager. Also a guy who, knows how to win MLS Cup. He
Last Dance vibes.
3 years ago, exactly. I really think LAFC, for me, is not just the best value, but they're the team to pick here. I throw a word to Seattle. I think Seattle's a very, very good team that's always, worthy of consideration this late. It'll probably come down to Seattle, LAFC for me in the West. And then, of course, you got to mention Inter Miami, out of the East. I just think this, they lack the coaching, and they are so vulnerable defensively. Again, Nashville, who's not some great team, could have had 3 or 4 goals in the opening half hour of that game. And that's pretty much every Inter-Miami game you watch. And I don't think you can win it all with so little defense, no matter what Messi does. At some point, you're going to have a 1-0 or 2-0 game. And I just think they're going to have to rely on their back line more than they're ready to.
Again, the Vancouver disrespect remains. LAFC would have to go through Vancouver, in Vancouver, to make it to MLS Cup. Listen, you could say what you want about how hot Son is and how hot Bawanga are. This is still an LAFC team that, for large stretches of the season, underwhelmed. And it's still an LAFC team that, in past editions...
Have they underwhelmed since Son's been there? Because that's the team now. I hear you. The first half, I was like, I'll be honest here. At the beginning of the season,
They didn't look good against Colorado. They didn't look good against Colorado.
Placed a futures bet on LAFC. 3 months into the season, El Primo felt really bad about that bet, but the new LAFC is what I'm going off.
Trust me, if it's the new FC... This because LAFC in general, with Steve Cherundolo, has just always been so Jekyll and Hyde. And if it's a scenario where you're placing all your chips on one player, because that's what you're going off of, how Sung has changed LAFC...
Yes, in the combo with Bawanga.
But it's the moment, right, that LAFC has, and we know that when it comes to postseason, it's really of the moment now. It seems to be more with LAFC collectively
here's the thing,
versus Inter Miami.
We've not seen them have the adversity yet. it's been smooth sailing for LAFC.
So, waiting for the other shoe to drop.
현지 매체에서도 MLS컵 2025 우승 유력 후보 탑5라는 기사에 우승 후보 5개 팀으로 필라델피아, 밴쿠버, LAFC, 마이애미, 시애틀을 선정했습니다. 그중 LAFC의 선정 이유로 기사에는 손흥민과 데니스 부안가, 이름만으로도 충분히 주목받는 조합이다. 하지만 LAFC는 두 스타만으로 설명되지 않는다. 그들의 강점은 폭발적인 득점력일 수도 있겠지만 팀의 진짜 힘은 전체적인 밸런스에서 나온다. 그리고 그 밸런스를 완성시킨 존재가 바로 손흥민이다라며 손흥민 선수의 가치를 다시 한번 확인시켜줬습니다. 손흥민, LAFC 첫 시즌 MLS 우승 노린다라는 또 다른 기사에서도 LAFC 팀의 중심에는 한국 대표팀 주장 손흥민이 자리하고 있다. 동부리그에 리오넬 메시가 있다면 서부리그에는 손흥민이 확실한 존재감을 드러내고 있다. 손흥민은 LAFC에서 자신의 기량을 완벽히 보여주며 리그 전체의 관심을 끌고 있다. 손흥민의 빠른 스피드, 정교한 기술, 그리고 창의적인 플레이는 MLS 수비수들에게 가장 큰 위협으로 평가된다라며 서부리그를 대표할 선수로 주목하고 있었습니다. 리그 관계자들 역시 손흥민의 합류로 LAFC의 공격 전개가 한층 다양해졌고 팀은 다시 한번 우승 후보로 부상했다라고 분석했습니다. 플레이오프 시즌이 가까워지면서 각 팀의 팬들도 한껏 기대를 담아 자신들만의 분석으로 시즌을 준비하고 있었습니다.
All right, it's that time of the year. MLS Cup playoffs are officially here, or they're starting on Wednesday, the play-in match. But the playoffs are what's next, and this is the most exciting time of the Major League Soccer year, at least in my opinion. Now, the next matchup we have is LAFC versus Austin. Now, LAFC have been arguably the hottest team in Major League Soccer since Son Heung-min came to LAFC. He has helped this team score, I think it was like 20 goals in 6 matches, which is incredible. Him and Denny Bwanga's chemistry is undeniable, and what they've done has probably, boasted the best tandem in MLS, right? They've been damn near unstoppable in the MLS, the final half of the MLS season. Austin FC's injured. I don't think they're quite there yet. I don't trust Nico Estevez as a manager. Obviously, Brandon Vasquez got hurt earlier in the season. That was their big-time signing up the top as a striker. He's not playing. Owen Wolf has been really good this year, too. He's emerged, but I just don't think they have what it takes or the horses to win this race. And I think LAFC are going to sweep Austin FC in the first round of the playoffs. I think they're going to win both matches and cruise by to the semifinals of the Western Conference. LAFC versus Vancouver. And it's funny because a lot of people were tired of the series because Vancouver and LAFC have played so many times in the last couple of years. But this is the most excited I've ever been to watch this. We get to see LAFC, Son Heung-min, Denny Bwanga versus Thomas Muller, Brian White, Ryan Gauld. So many good players facing off against each other, and one of the best semifinal games we've probably ever seen. These are two teams that many people could see going to the MLS Cup final. I think LAFC are going to win this match, and it's going to be very, very close. But when you have 2 of the top 6 players in the league on your roster, I'm going to give you the advantage. Now, Vancouver is a tough place to play at. It really is. It really is. We make jokes about the carpet that they have. They call a pitch, but LAFC is just different. Like, they can score in so many ways with Son Heung-min and Denny Bwanga, and they can score so much. Like, we saw a 3 or 4 game stretch where they had a hat trick in a row. Like, that's unheard of in MLS. I'm going to give the slight edge to LAFC, but I think it's going to be a historic match. All right, starting off with the Western Conference. If you followed me and you've listened to what I've said, the biggest thing about Seattle, of why I don't consider them to be a true MLS Cup contender to win it all, is because they don't have a striker. They've relied too heavily on Danny Musovski. Jordan Morris has been hurt. They just don't have that striker that we're used to seeing them have when they won MLS Cup. The Raul Ruiz-Diaz, Clint Dempsey, Obafemi Martins was sold, but still, we're used to seeing them have a top-end striker, and they don't have that. They don't have that. And I said LAFC have got Son Heung-min and Denny Bwanga, and yes, they have Steve Cherundolo, who I don't trust as a manager, but I think LAFC have what it takes, and their attack is just so potent, it's so lethal, that they are going to win this match and make it to the MLS Cup final. which I don't think a lot of people would have thought at one point, but Son Heung-min has just completely revitalized this team. All right, LAFC versus Charlotte FC. LAFC will be hosting this MLS Cup final. This is going to be a very, very, very good game, in my opinion. And I think it's going to be not high scoring like many people would expect, because I said earlier about Son Heung-min and Denny Bouanga's scoring ability for LAFC. I think Dean Smith's a better coach than Steve Cherundolo, and that's why it's going to be a real challenge for LAFC. And I think it's going to be a very close game. I don't think it's going to be some 3-0, 4-1 blowout. But I do think LAFC are going to win, and it comes down to them having the better players. They have 2 of the top 6 players in the league, maybe arguably the best player in the league in Son Heung-min at this point, arguably the best player in the league. And when you have that, you have to take that advantage. Like, you have to say that that gives you a leg up when you're playing in the final and you're playing against a team who your second best player, Denny Bouanga, would be their best player on Charlotte FC. I've got LAFC winning it all in 2025. I've got 2 LA teams winning it back-to-back years. And I think LAFC are going to be the 2025 MLS Cup winners. And it's thanks to Son Heung-min and Denny Bouanga.
영상을 본 현지 팬들은 댓글로 한국 팬들 못지않게 손흥민 선수를 응원하고 있었습니다. 예측에 완전 공감합니다. 분석도 정말 좋고. 소니 첫 MLS컵 우승 그리고 리그 고트로 등극. 손흥민은 역시 손흥민이다. 이번 시즌만큼은 MLS를 진짜 기대하면서 본다. 화려한 선수들이 너무 많다. 화이트캡스가 우승할 것 같지만 손흥민도 꼭 우승했으면 좋겠다. 결승은 당연히 LAFC 대 마이애미죠. 전 세계가 주목할 최고의 빅매치가 될 거예요. 우승은 LAFC 거다. 매일 쏟아져 나오는 영상과 기사에서 보듯 손흥민 선수의 플레이오프는 이미 돌풍을 일으키며 모든 시선을 모으고 있습니다. 오늘 준비한 영상은 여기까지입니다. 영상이 재미있었다면 구독과 좋아요로 채널에 힘이 되어주세요. 더욱 유익한 이슈로 다시 찾아오겠습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.
I was just thinking there, when you said, like, I want to go to, I'm like, what would I want to do with, I don't know why I just thought is, imagine going to a theme park with Son Heung-min.
Oh my
Imagine
God.
his excitement when you're going down a roller coaster.
Brother,
like,
MLS 플레이오프를 앞두고 현지 분위기가 한창 뜨겁습니다. 매일 플레이오프 전망도 쏟아지고 있는데요. 리그 대표 프로그램인 MLS 360의 진행자 케빈 이건 역시 방송에서 플레이오프에 대한 분석을 내놓기도 했습니다. 방송 중에는 특히 손흥민 선수에게 유독 호감을 보이는 장면도 있었습니다.
As a analyst and announcer, and you've sort of done it all, but you were also like a hype man for MLS and your cast that you're sort of carrying with you to bring this energy. But are there any new ways to talk about Messi to make it still feel new?
yes, he's the villain. He's the villain because
Isn't that wild?
Isn't that what? That's
Only
the thing.
here.
I know.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted him, and then all of a sudden he's performing and he's doing well. Oh, and by the way, here's the one thing that people are seeing now that maybe they didn't see before. He's a competitive beast, right?
Without a doubt, yeah.
He's going to the reporter. Can I also say, just on the villain front, the fact that they have been not the most likable team to the masses, right? People want to nearly see Miami lose because of the amount of superstars that they've brought in. And the way they're competitive beasts on the field, the way they'll go for every single inch and stretch the dark arts maybe and all that sort of stuff that we see from Miami. But now you see,
we see what you're doing, bro.
Son Heung-min come in.
Yeah.
If you want to talk WWE terminology, Messi has been the heel to a lot of people, and they're looking for Miami's downfall. Right. Whereas Son Heung-min has come in, and he's like the most friendly, lovable guy in the world.
메시는 세계에서 가장 사랑받는 축구 선수 중 한 명이지만 MLS에서만은 많은 논란을 일으키고 있는데요. 현지 매체 역시 리오넬 메시 경력 최초 빌런 이미지라는 기사에 한때 미국 전역에 뜨거운 찬사를 받던 메시였지만 이제는 과도한 메시 열풍으로 피로감을 느끼는 팬들이 늘고 있다. 특히 이번 시즌 들어 심판, 상대 선수, 감독과의 잦은 충돌로 그의 이미지가 점점 논란의 중심으로 옮겨가고 있다라며 진행 중인 논란에 입을 열었습니다. 뿐만 아니라 리오넬 메시 경기 후 뉴욕시티 FC 코치목 움켜쥐고 징계받다라는 기사에는 메시의 태도가 논란을 불러일으켰다. 경기 후 메시가 메흐디 발루치 뉴욕시티 코치의 목을 움켜쥐었다. MLS는 부적절한 신체 접촉으로 판단하고 벌금을 부과했다라는 내용뿐만 아니라 메시와 발루치의 사건 직전 주심과의 언쟁도 함께 조명했습니다.
You can have the cameras and the handshakes and everything. The only thing he cares about right now is that referee.
Yeah, he's going back to Joe Dickerson. Bruce Arena is the mediator.
I think Messi wants the second yellow.
MLS 360의 진행자 케빈 이건이 출연한 방송에서는 메시와 함께 손흥민 선수에 대한 이야기를 나누기도 했는데요.
Go for it. LAFC is the last one.
So here's the weird thing. LAFC have played Austin twice this year. Austin have won both games. So I just
and
don't.
their luck stops there.
That's the thing. I'm not conditioned by
Yeah.
that. They've yet to come up against the, fit and firing Denny Bouanga and Son Heung-min. Those guys were away on international duty when Austin won the last game. Austin, their defense has been much better than I thought it would be. Their attack, having spent 30 million, has not been as good as I thought it'd be. Now Vasquez is out with a long-term injury, but I'm picking LAFC in 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a long day for our friend, Brad Stuber,
Sorry.
friend of the show.
But I love you.
He's a great lad, Brad.
He's a great guy, man.
I think in MLS, the most important thing you can do is catch momentum on the way into the playoffs. And the example of that this year would be LAFC.
100% of that. All right. Western Conference winner. Alexis, who do you got?
LAFC. I just glazed them enough. I'll do it a little more. I think Heung-min Son is one of those signings that when you think about what's a signing that can be impactful on and off the pitch, gets people to buy tickets, gets people talking, gets people outside the country even buzzing about it, but also makes your team so much better that you almost have to rethink how you're going to defend against them. Heung-min Son is exactly that.
Where is he? How is he not the perfect signing? Like, you could make an argument, even talking about Lionel Messi, that he doesn't do the interviews or put himself out there like maybe some people would want, like David Beckham did. Son Heung-min is the perfect signing. He's delivered on the pitch, great for the culture within the dressing room. The fans love him. The fans are showing out all over the world to watch him. It's just the most perfect signing. And with the relationship that he has with Bouanga, that was the biggest question heading into all this, was how would these two coexist? Son loves to drift to the left. That's Denny's position. Denny was getting linked with Liga MX. Doesn't happen. These two have formed this bromance, this stepbrothers, on the field. It's so cool to see. And now they don't even need a striker. It's just like, let these two guys go, and you don't even need an Olivier Giroud type from them.
Right. And I loved, we've been talking about this since Son joined the league, but he's a fantastic teammate.
Correct.
He's just a good dude.
He's just a good guy. Where it's just
I want to be his friend.
Yeah, I just want to be his friend. Where he's like, I
want to go to a Korean barbecue because I mean he gets everything for free.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But he was talking. There was some, I think, post-match thing he did, and where he was like, "Oh, we're like trying to help Bouanga get the golden boot and stuff like that." And it's just like, but where that's on top of his mind, where he's like, how do I support and help my teammates? Anytime he gets an assist or somebody builds up in a play, like, hey, I'm pointing you out, I gotta hug you and stuff like that. And that obviously is what a blessing to have that in your dressing room.
I was just thinking there, you said like, I want to go to I'm like, what would I want to do with Son? I don't know why I just thought is, imagine going to a theme park with Son Heung-min. Imagine his excitement when you're going down a roller coaster.
Brother,
he's too nice.
You're gonna think that you're his security.
Also, he's too nice. He won't skip the line. You know what I mean? What's the point?
That's actually a fair point.
Yeah, he's too nice. He's waiting in the back signing autographs.
No, Aaron Long says he's much better crack in the dressing room than we think. He's much more like, he's full of the banter, full of the little pranks and the fun.
방송에 나온 진행자와 패널 모두 손흥민 선수를 향한 호감을 숨기지 않았습니다. 사실 손흥민 선수의 인간적인 면모는 입단 초기부터 동료들의 인터뷰를 통해 이미 확인되고 있었습니다.
Wonder just kind of what this week has been like for you guys to welcome a player of Son's profile, and then for him after just a couple days to make his debut. How has he adjusted? How have you guys adjusted, and what do you think tonight?
Yeah, obviously huge signing for the club, huge signing for the city of LA. Couldn't have gotten a better footballer, but also a better person. He came in, just a couple of days ago and was just watching his phone, counting down to see if he could get his visa in time to come on this trip. And, a lot of these DP players, they come in and they're like, I'll play when I'm ready, or I'll play when it's time. And he was just immediately pushing to get here, to get on the trip, to be with the guys. Like you've seen the videos that have come out there. He's going all around LA for the last 5 days. The guy hasn't slept. He hasn't eaten. He's done. He's just getting, because the city's so excited, right? They're already asking him to throw out the first pitch. They're already asking him to throw the jump ball for the NBA. Like, they want him doing everything already. and then he still is trying to come on this trip, be a part of the team, be a part of the minutes, and it shows that the club goes after not only good footballers but good people that want to help this club become the best. So really excited about having him, and couldn't speak more highly of the last couple days we've had him.
Alex Calabrese from MLSsoccer.com. Ryan, there's a very select number of players who come to MLS and they bring a whole craze with them, Messi, Zlatan, Beckham, etc. What was it like being a part of that here in Chicago with Son and all the support that he got today?
Yeah, it was amazing. At first I was like, I think they're here for me or Sergi, but no, it's amazing. Obviously his following is worldwide, and there's a reason for it. He's phenomenal. You saw him come in 20, 30 minutes and change the game for us and offer something different than what we had in the first 60 minutes.
그저 훌륭한 사람. 손흥민, LAFC의 골 그 이상을 선사하다라는 기사에는 LAFC의 체른돌로 감독은 손흥민의 경기력보다 사람을 대하는 태도의 깊은 인상을 받았다. 특히 손흥민의 겸손함, 배려심, 인내심을 강조하며 정말 훌륭한 인간이라고 평가했다라며 손흥민 선수의 태도를 집중 조명하기도 했습니다. 케빈 이건이 출연한 방송은 MLS컵 우승팀에 대한 전망으로 마무리됐습니다.
And so who's going to win the whole thing? Alexis, you go first.
I think this is easy.
MLS Cup winner.
You got the biggest signing in MLS history, LAFC. That's
Okay.
right. Hemming Son Hemming. To me, it's the smartest decision any team has ever made is to sign Son Heung-min. He is clearly, dude. When you have an entire nation that can just watch him play in the game, they have a camera that just follows him. This is a smart pick.
Dude,
and
even
he's
when
a great team,
and
I knew he'd be able to play centrally. We had this argument on the show, and I said he's going to be so good centrally, you're going to be shocked.
오늘 준비한 영상은 여기까지입니다. 영상이 재미있었다면 구독과 좋아요로 채널에 힘이 되어주세요. 더욱 유익한 이슈로 다시 찾아오겠습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.